history, Wycombe Wanderers have celebrated some marvellous moments, but none, surely, to compare with events of the 1992-93 season. This is the story of that season, when Martin O'Neill stayed, but Wycombe moved on.
Hello and welcome to Adams Park, the first Wycombe Wanderers home game of a new season, and it's a really prestigious friendly, this one. Two of the most famous names in football, Wycombe Wanderers and Tottenham Hotspur. Real prestige friendly, this one. Spurs have been playing around the country. Game against Heart of Midlothian last week. Made a lot of summer signings. Wycombe very much unchanged. Thompson has made a good run forward. Now this is Casey! Not bigger! Jim Casey has done it! Now Guppy. It's a good cross! Green has made it 2-0. Brandon Howe probably says, who are they? Now, this is good, and again! From the man who used to be a gunner, who is now a Wanderer, has done it against the Spurs. Wycombe, who get us underway here in their new change strip of all yellow. And this is Steve Guppy, whipping in a good early cross. Carlo, Linnigan, this is Flats. He's on here. And Arsenal have the lead. And Mark Flats is the man who's done it for them. He's back to square one at the moment, but here's Guppy. He's got past O'Leary. And now they've equalised. Right out of the blue. 28 minutes gone. That's Casey, that's West. Now, can Mark West hold it up? And in from Casey, and eventually into the back of the net, but it will not count. Carroll is on as well, he wears number 14. This is Ryan. And Goodham has done it against his old club. David Carroll with the throw quickly taken. This is Casey. West, now Casey again. And that's number 3. And the two guys who could be construed as rivals, combining well there, Kim Casey and Mark West. That was adjudged to have been a back pass. And under the new FIFA directive, back passes made with the feet are not allowed. So interestingly, we have a free kick inside the penalty area. The new FIFA directive, I expect we'll see that to good effect in a few weeks. But there's Carroll. Oh, he's done it! And Carroll has scored number 4 for Wycombe. To me, that the game loses a little bit of its spice when they bring on the substitutes. You lose a little bit of the cohesion and the fluidity. That's a good ball there by Flats, and that's a great goal by Reed. Can't really complain, you've had 6 goals. An entertaining evening, seen a few stars, past and present, and another impressive Wycombe Wanderers victory. So another North London scalp indeed is claimed by Wycombe Wanderers. And it's the G-men, Guppy and Gooden, and the C-men, Casey and Carroll, that score the goals that make the final score Wycombe Wanderers 4, Arsenal 2.
Well, that championship season began in earnest up at Macclesfield with a 1-1 draw. And then the roller coaster began at home at Adams Park against Welling United. Steve Thompson scoring the opening home goal of the season. Wycombe were in rampant mood. The second came from Keith Scott. A familiar sensation for the big striker. He was to become Wycombe's leading scorer for the season. Wycombe were playing some delightful football early on this season. And the third goal, a real screamer from Kim Casey. Wycombe 3, Welling 0.
This now is Guppy. And Scott, he's got men in the middle. Stapleton. Alan Lamb losing out. Thompson now has found Guppy. Oh, coming in! And Mark West has done it!
A rare moment of joy in a frustrating season for the local hero Mark West. But there was no frustration when Wycombe played Telford. They scored 6 against their opponents last season, and they were in no mood to be charitable on this occasion. Keith Scott scoring the first goal, and in the second half, Wycombe really went to town. Dave Carroll on the end for a poor high clearance to make it 2-0. Thought they'd had a third. Keith Scott bundling in on the goalkeeper, but the referee ruled his effort out. Be disappointed on this occasion, Wycombe Wanderers were still able to provide their fans with more opportunities for celebration. Andy Kerr getting up at the corner to make it 3-0. And then Kim Casey showing the poacher's instinct, finishing well at the far post. Wycombe Wanderers 4, Telford United 0. Wycombe against Yeovil drew the best midweek crowd of the season so far, and if you're a Wycombe fan, you weren't to be disappointed. Now Scott. Carroll gets the shot in, and it's come off Casey, and it's there! Kim Casey has done it for Wycombe. Kerr got up well, and that's number 2. Andy Kerr. Scott with the penalty, and nothing that David Coles in the Yeovil goal could do about that. Casey. And again, and that's 4. And this really is becoming a cakewalk now. Wycombe playing some delightful football here. Stapleton, number 5, Simon Stapleton. Great ball for Carroll. He's got Scott arriving. This is Carroll. Magnificent goal. Guppy. Goalkeeper having problems clearing it as Guppy puts it in! David Carroll has scored a second! Carroll with the corner. Kerr was up there, Creasel was up there! And Casey has scored the goal! Guppy and Carroll wanting to work the magic again. Scott was up. Celtic came to Adams Park for the first time. It didn't stop Wycombe though. A brave header by Kim Casey opening the scoring. And the Kidderminster man was enjoying a golden patch at the start of the season. Andy Kerr liking to join the attack, setting through Keith Scott to make it 2-0. It was all very easy indeed at this stage of the season. Steve Guppy on another of those jinking runs. And there to finish it off as well, 3-0. Well, the rains cascaded down still, but it didn't matter for Wycombe. They were having a ball. Dave Cowell with the cross, and Simon Stapleton came in with the finish, and that made it 4. Whisper it quietly around Lokes. Oh, Adams, and it was only mid-October. They were chosen for the Championship Shield match against double winners Colchester United. Steve Guppy was pulled down early on. That was a penalty to Wycombe. And Keith Scott will be entrusted with the opportunity of opening the scoring. Wycombe had lost twice in the league last season to Colchester, so this was a timely opportunity to get some revenge. Scott with the penalty. Wycombe have the lead. A sizable crowd had turned out to watch this one. Roy McDonough, the Colchester manager, pooh-poohed Wycombe. David Cowell. Scott got up there! 1-0! Keith Scott! And Cowell again with the corner kick. Kerr was there! And Andy Kerr has scored again!
Hutchinson will be running in. Hutchinson will be running in. Look, just wandering out there when you've got... And that's a better completion there.
He's prepared to run at the defence. He gets the cross in. And Wycombe have done it again. Keith Scott. This is Hutchinson though. Doesn't need help from anybody! Because that's 2-0. Crossley, oh, it broke kindly now for Bradshaw. Tries the shot. What a superb goal! And the shot coming in there, and Stafford a level. It's a cold and wet and rather unpleasant afternoon, but the magic of the cup returns to High Wycombe today. Wycombe Wanderers against Merthyr Tydfil in the first round of the FA Cup. And the FA Cup starts here for Wycombe and Merthyr Tydfil. And we're underway. Gareth Abraham. Now Scott is in space here, and Keith Scott has opened the scoring for Wycombe Wanderers. Crossley, Andy Kerr. Good deep cross too. Reesa was up there. Carroll's there too, and Dave Carroll has scored number 2. James towards Coates, who took a nasty knock there in that challenge with Andy Kerr. The shot comes in, it's gone in, and Merthyr have pulled a goal back, and Kevin Rogers is the man who's done it. Stapleton, Dave Carroll, Stapleton again, Cousins. Hutchinson. And on a day when there's no Premier League programme, the spotlight fair and square on the FA Cup, which is pleasing for the non-league sides, and a pleasing first half for Wycombe Wanderers. Superb start, Keith Scott scoring the opening goal, then Dave Carroll making it 2. With just a couple of minutes to go to half-time, Kevin Rogers pulling a goal back for Merthyr Tydfil. A reception for Keith Scott, the goal scorer, who started proceedings off with his first FA Cup goal for Wycombe. And Wycombe get the second half underway. Crossley again. Great chance now. Is that a penalty? Yes! This could be the decisive moment. Kim Casey going over. The referee says penalty. Waving away the protests of the Merthyr players. Now, Keith Scott against Steve Morris, who saved penalties in the Welsh Cup and the Drinkwise this season for Merthyr Tydfil. Keith Scott. Oh, he saved it again! And the man who's standing in for Gary Wager has poured another spectacular save out of the bag to keep Merthyr Tydfil in the FA Cup. Yes. Stapleton. Guppy. Crossley. Guppy again. Still Guppy. Oh, it's great work. Back in there. That does it. Simon Stapleton. 3-1. Carroll's corner. The far post. Might come still. Scrambled away somehow by Merthyr. And that's the whistle. And Wycombe Wanderers are through. Welcome to Adams Park for surely the biggest match staged in its short history. The FA Cup second round, Wycombe Wanderers against West Bromwich Albion. And the prize is one of the most emotive in football, a place in the third round draw of the FA Cup. Lining up to get us underway here. And the most expectant of crowds see this tie underway.
This is a good run from Scott. He's got Kim Casey in the middle. Danger here for West Bromwich Albion. Here's Casey! And how did he miss that?
What a chance, what a chance, what a chance. Kim Casey there, is he injured? It looks as though he's colliding with the goalkeeper. And to me, a fabulous chance there, Ian. A bit of blood there, I can see, and he's also holding his shoulder up very carefully as well, Ian.
31-year-old Kim Casey, an insurance consultant when he's not playing football. Signed this year from Cheltenham for 9,000. Crafty player, important up front, and he looks in a bad way.
Could be interesting. They all go up for it. The header across was from Green. Carroll. Good pressure by Wycombe. Guppy. Still Guppy. And Naylor had to fist it away. And that was an important intervention. And now the break is on for West Bromwich Albion. Garner against Stapleton. He's got McNally in support. Maybe he doesn't need him. Bradley. Shot comes in. West Bromwich Albion have taken the lead here. Darren Bradley is the man who's done it. Albion's leading scorer. Superb start to the season they had. This is Hamilton, one of Ozzy Ardiles' first signings. Might come through for Taylor. It's gone in. And Bob Taylor has scored the second goal for West Bromwich Albion. With just 3 minutes to go to half-time. Well, there's Andy Kerr, born in West Brom, missing this game, but commentating for Ringing the Blues, the Wycombe Wanderers telephone service, with Alan Hutchinson on the right-hand side of the box there. And I wonder what he's made of this first half. So they're all set for the second half then. It's going to be West Brom will get us underway. 2 goals to the good at the end of a very productive first 45 minutes. The lights are on. And this is Taylor going in there with Crossley, who has to nick it away. Guppy with the corner. It's there! Rita has done it for Wycombe. Around his ankles. David Carroll with him. Still Carroll. Thompson. Thompson tries the shot. Yes! It's there! Steve Thompson has scored the goal! And I do not believe it! Wycombe Wanderers are back in this game. It's 2-2. pitch. The applause, the acclaim is for Wycombe Wanderers for that marvellous comeback. West Brom took the lead. Darren Bradley after 12 minutes. Bob Taylor added the second just before half-time. It was Glyn Creaser's goal that started the recovery, and Steve Thompson made it 2-2. It's replay time at the Hawthorns. It's been an exhilarating cup tie here. The final score is Wycombe Wanderers 2, West Bromwich Albion 2. From Adams Park, it's good night.
All told, it was a commendable effort by the players. I'm so proud of them in all honesty, and we've battled back, and hopefully I think we've done the Vauxhall Conference proud, but more importantly I think we've done ourselves proud.
Two are quiet, keep their head down. There's one or two screaming and shouting, you know, letting off that nervous energy, and I think that at the moment probably West Brom I would say are the favourites, and they look quite happy.
And I wonder when Wycombe have played in anything like this before.
Bradley loves those little chips. Back header by Donovan didn't quite work. Drops to Hamilton. Carroll tenaciously in on him. But Hamilton wins it back again. And Hamilton has scored! It's Taylor who put it in the end. Bob Taylor's goal. West Bromwich Albion lead by a goal to nil. Heartbreak for Wycombe Wanderers, but I have the feeling, don't you, that their consolation is going to come in May, when surely the runaway leaders of the Vauxhall Conference will claim what I think everybody who is here tonight will agree is now their rightful place in the Football League.
Scott. The header on for Carroll. Carroll's still there. Quite superbly done. Dave Carroll gives Wycombe the lead. 1-0. Happy, superb play. Carroll keeps it in. Great football this by Wycombe. Still Dave Carroll. Now Keith Scott. 2-0. Now, this is Hutchinson. He's got men in the middle. Pulled it back. It comes for Guppy! And this time, Steve Guppy has scored the goal they all wanted him to score. All has happened, he's really now got his tail up. He's got Dennis Green in the middle. That's a great ball! Oh, it's off the line, no! Keith Scott has scored it. 2 goals in a minute, and Steve Guppy at the heart of both of them with an unselfish ball into the middle. It was a valiant attempt by Gary Wager to keep it out. Dewhurst getting the boot in to set Scott away. With that time, the referee does give the free kick. A free kick to Wycombe. He was certainly very much the sinned against Carroll. Dewhurst is up there! He's done it! Hutchinson. Still Hutchinson. Oh, that's a good cross too! And it's there! And they've done it! With 2 minutes to go, Les Palmer is claiming the plaudits.
But manager Martin O'Neill is nothing if not philosophical, arguably the most laid-back football manager anywhere.
Quietly confident. I've got to say to you, I was probably quietly confident last year. But Colchester were a full-time side in the league. They're not there this season. We're all basically off the same ilk in the fact that we're all semi-pro. So I think if we keep our heads, we can do it.
The ground has been home for O'Neill for just 3 years. The first saw them lift the FA Trophy at Wembley. Skipper Glyn Creaser did the honours, but he's out for the rest of the season. An accident at work with a forklift truck has left him in Stoke Mandeville Hospital. Plastic surgery later this week will put things right, but to miss the vital run-in is agony.
Very frustrating. There's nothing worse than sitting here. You just get the same feelings and the same vibes as I do if I was playing. And it's not very enjoyable. I think that's probably what hurts me more than anything. If I could go and watch it, it'd be something, but I can't even do that at the moment.
Here, though, comes the corner. Oh, it could go all the way! It's there! And David Carroll! Well, for the second time in a week, the visitors to Adams Park are Dagenham and Redbridge. Last week, Wycombe beat them by a single goal in the taut and tense GMVC match. Gooden scored on the road to the final last season. Now, here's Guppy, who did score in the final. Oh, it's gone across the goal! And Kim Casey is the man who has opened the scoring for Wycombe. On for Casey, well helped on by Barracliff. This is Guppy. Still Guppy. Oh, superb goal from Steve Guppy. Casey. He's got Gooden outside in, but it's a lovely shrug by Casey. And this must be there. Keith Ryan is the scorer. Getting it away, and it's a useful cross from Broom. Nuttall! He scored as he almost greeted with stunned silence here. It's 3-1 now. Now this is Phil Brown. Oh, he scored! And it was so brilliantly done. A really impudent goal from Phil Brown has given Kettering Town the lead here. Now, this is Owen Wright. That's a good run too. It comes now, and Hodges has scored again for Kettering Town. Kerr with the header. For Wycombe. The seconds tick away. Here's the corner. It's on the line. It looked as though it had gone over. Gooden. It must be there, surely. And eventually, Jürgen Sommer clings onto the ball. Thompson was in there. And the referee's whistle had gone anyway, so it would have all been academic. But it's a real grandstand finish here. They've got to take it quickly. Thompson and Stapleton are there. Guppy tries the shot. It was disappointing in the end. And that surely now is the last throw of the dice. And both benches on their feet now, exalting the sides to one last effort, but there surely can't be too long to go. And there it is! Kettering have won here. And the Wycombe unbeaten streak at Adams Park has been ended. It's been a magnificent run that went back to the autumn of 1991 in the league. And a year in all competitions. And thanks to a spirited performance by Kettering Town, it has come to an end now. Phil Brown scoring the first for them. And David Hodges scoring the second. Andy Kerr's late header seeming to spark a revival. It was a blistering end to this match, but the salutes come from the Kettering fans. Wycombe's unbeaten run is ended. The final score here at Adams Park is Wycombe Wanderers 1, Kettering Town 2. Win, lose or draw. There's another long throw from Sorrell. Guppy. That's a good cross too. Scott there! And Keith Scott. Dinked back in. This could be dangerous for Hyde. He clung onto it well. Wycombe set a trend that might well continue here. That Horton has done it though. He's equalised. Jamie Horton. A very warm welcome to Adams Park. It's bursting at the seams tonight, and a really big night in prospect for Wycombe Wanderers. A warm welcome for the players from the huge crowd that have gathered here, hoping to inspire them in quest for further points towards that GMBC title. Well, Wycombe and Slough have been rivals a long time, but this is surely one of the most important derbies that there have ever been between the two clubs. The interest absolutely intense, and the fact is that they've closed the gates here. We're told that around 7,000 people have crammed inside, and just looking outside, more than 1,000 watching from the hillsides around Adams Park this evening. Such is the interest in this tie between the big two in the conference. It really is a match that has been anticipated for some time. It was of course scheduled to take place over the Christmas holidays. They had to call it off then because of frost on the pitch. And it now means of course that the two deciding fixtures in this title race, although of course don't let David Kemp or Martin O'Neill hear you saying that, will take place in the matter of a couple of weeks. It's going to be Slough who'll get us underway, then Andy Sayer with his back to camera, wearing the number 9 jersey, very experienced campaigner, and Slough start the game off. Goes all the way through to Paul Hyde in the Wycombe goal. Hasn't conceded a goal against Slough for over a season. Now Scott. He's got men arriving in the middle. Carroll's in there. Here it comes for Carroll. And eventually the shot was blocked. Carroll now will float this free kick in. Just over 12 minutes gone. Let's go up. They get it away. Guppy up there. And eventually it dribbled through to Emberson. Here's the corner for Slough. Let's go up. Quamina! And somehow Hyde got a hand to it. And it was a superb save in the end. The throw for Slough this time disappears amongst the fans on the Sportsman's Terrace. And Paul Hyde gather the ball once more. Langford. Carroll. Cousins. Tried to flick it on. Langford again tangling with Edwards. Carroll's found Langford once more. Now this is Thompson trying to tease the Slough defence. He's found Carroll. Can Carroll get the cross in? Scott's there. Goalkeeper saved it. Now it's there. And Wycombe have taken the lead. And Keith Scott is the man who's done it. With 27 minutes gone. Keith Scott, the man who makes a habit of scoring important goals. Well, that one might be so important here for Wycombe. Keith Scott, it's his 18th goal of the season, and it might yet be the most important he's ever scored for Wycombe. It's Wycombe 1, Slough Town 0. Here's Carroll. Now Guppy, oh that's superbly done by Guppy. Now he's on here. And they just managed to get back. Cousins. Carroll. It's got men in the middle. Scott's up there. Langford was there too, and somehow they got it away. Well now though, Keith Scott's taken a knock. So is the goalkeeper and so is Tim Langford. Henderson as well. David Jones over there very quickly. And Scott appears to be in more trouble. It looks as though Emberson has taken a knock on the side of the head. Keith Scott. Something to do with the ankle. He does look in some pain there. Referee Graham Barber just coming over to see how the treatment is going and indicating is it possible to get him off the pitch so that play might continue here. Well, that really would be a cruel blow as Keith Scott now tries to hobble off the pitch, and it's not looking too healthy at the moment. Big man Darren Anderson. It's a good long raking cross into the middle too. Kwamina! What a save by Paul Hyde! Superb goalkeeping of the highest order from the Wycombe keeper. And the header came in from Anderson and it wasn't so far away. Wycombe survived once more. And in the meantime, Keith Scott hobbling towards the dugout. Martin O'Neill coming to inquire as to what's going on. Well, Scott's taking his place back in the middle of the pitch, and no doubt he's going to try and run it off. And Slough have the free kick and the momentum now with just over 7 minutes plus whatever the referee has added on for stoppages until half-time. Briley, the voice of experience, knocking it forward. In the end, Andy Sayer very nearly turned it into something. 19 goals so far this season as Andy Sayer. Would love to score the 20th tonight. It's a throw though to Wycombe. And the delay is as Keith Scott makes his way from the field. Ankle didn't stand up to it, and Kim Casey there ready to come on. John Redden standing to give him some last minute instructions, and a real blow for Wycombe that. Keith Scott, who opened the scoring, takes his leave and Kim Casey comes on. Here's the free kick. One forward. And Andy Kerr got in the way there as Hazel went through, and it'll be a free kick to Slough Town in a dangerous position here right at the start of this second half. Referee Graham Barber in there right away, and a free kick, then a set piece for Slough to work. Sayers lurking in front of the wall. Briley's there too. Mark Fury spotting it up. Now what are they going to be able to concoct here? Really would be a superb time to hit right back at the very start of this second half. Riley, well, the gestures are coming in, the signals, the secret signs are coming in too. Well, Andy Kerr's gone over to remonstrate with the referee there. And he could get in some trouble here. Langford's also having a go. Clearly they weren't happy about the way that Slough tried to take that free kick. Cousins has gone over too. So Jason Cousins, is he going into the book? And a yellow card for Jason Cousins. Rejoining the wall. Well, I don't think they were too happy. Here's the free kick from Fiore. In the end, it was charged down. Cousins was out to meet it. Slough still trying to find their way through here. Missed it. Whitby now digs it forward. Sayer and Andy Kerr. Now a little bit of trouble there as the referee's whistle goes between Sayer and Kerr. And there could be trouble here. Kerr will seem to win the ball. Stapleton's gone over to intercede. McKinnon's over there too for Slough. And Mr. Barber has called Andy Kerr, the Wycombe captain, towards him. Looked like a pretty standard 50-50 ball there. And frank exchange of views is ensuing. He's got the red card. And Kerr is off. And he cannot believe it. Guppy goes over to console him. Well, I have to say that does seem a mite harsh to me, looking at it objectively. Riley floats it in. And the shot by Quamina, and again Paul Hyde was equal. Watched it all the way. It's the second time that Andy Kerr has been sent off this season, the fifth time a Wycombe player has got his marching orders so far. Martin O'Neill is on his feet, barking out the instructions. Now Sayer. Oh, Hyde's lost it there and the ball skids out. Might yet be back in there. Great chance there, and eventually it was turned away. Sayer's shot was cleared away. Free kick to Wycombe. Guppy to take it. The big men are up there again. Langford's header off the bar. Here's the free kick then to Wycombe. Oh, Carroll got it in there, and Langford's header was well saved. Another free kick to Slough. Really got to get that ball quickly forward. Great chance here. Fiore went in, and Paul Hyde made another brave save, and they're all piling in now. And the referee in there very quickly to sort things out. It was Fiore who went in. It was an important and very brave save by Paul Hyde. It's Slough now coming forward once more. Nothing is ever certain. Another good save by Paul Hyde. Jason Cousins was in there too. In the end, the referee's whistle had gone for an infringement. It's a free kick once more to Slough. There can't be long to go now. There's nothing left. And Wycombe Wanderers have won this match. And what an important victory that could be. The celebrations come in from Keith Ryan and Steve Guppy. There's Martin O'Neill. Coming over to salute the fans. Guppy. Trying to thread his way through. And the shot coming in from Ryan! What a superb goal! Keith Ryan! Hyde to come for it. It's bobbling about here. Great chance for Boston. It's gone in. And Gary West is the man who's done it for them. Now, Graham's done well here. He's got Jones in the middle. Grayson, it might fall for him yet. He's got it! And Boston have the lead. Now, this is Jones. Still Jones. What a magnificent goal! Hutchinson gets the cross in. Ryan. Still Keith Ryan. He gets the cross in too. Aylot's in there. Everybody was. And Mark Hutchinson very well there. They're all in the middle. It's across the goal. It must be there. Keith Ryan has scored his second goal of the evening. Here it comes. The header on. Hey, look what's in there. Is it in? It's not in. But the referee has not given it. Wycombe thought that they'd done the impossible there. And that will not count. Now Thompson. Still Thompson, and into the side netting, and half the ground thought that had gone in. Good jump. Langford on now. Aylott! Is it going across the line? No! And Clements. Hyde had to fist it away, and it was good and positive by Paul Hyde. Wanted to show his brother that he can play tonight. And he's gone over. And Ryan is going into the book for that tackle on David Green. And Cousins has been sent off. I don't believe it. And offering the encouragement as well. Well, and Mr. Alcock is telling him to sit down. Now is he sending Martin O'Neill off? And Martin O'Neill becomes the second Wycombe man to be sent off this evening. Well, Jim Melvin is furious on the bench there, with the Wycombe boss now sent off. And that is the final whistle, and for the first time this season Wycombe have failed to find the net here at Adams Park. But the drama coming in a 10-minute spell in the second half, when first Jason Cousins, the stand-in Wycombe skipper, and then Martin O'Neill were both given their marching orders, and the disciplinary ramifications of that have yet to be seen. A frustrating night for Wycombe. The Woking fans salute their team, and Wycombe at least have got a point, and they stay top, of course, of the conference. Frustration for Wycombe Wanderers there, but in the middle of a particularly hectic period in April, one of the sternest examinations of the season, a trip to Wexham Park to play local rival Slough. But it was an examination for which Wycombe had all the answers. They came through with flying colours. George Friel hooking it in. Now Langford. Oh, this is a good run by Tim Langford. He's got Scott in the middle. He could go all the way. He has! Tim Langford has scored his first goal for Wycombe. And it may yet prove to be the most important league goal that Wycombe have ever scored. No, though, that's not a bad try! What a superb goal! And Slough Town are right back in the game. And now it's Slough throwing one last chance forward. Cooper, Hyde, came for it. And just as he dived to save at the end of the first half, Paul Hyde is the last man in possession at the end of the second half. And the great Jim Vauxhall confrontation has ended all square here at Wexham Park. But you have to wonder as the applause comes in for both sides. Well, the Wycombe Wanderers may yet have done enough to claim the championship. Martin O'Neill comes onto the pitch and once more takes the acclaim of the supporters. The Blues again with Hutchinson. Hutchinson tries a shot and it's there! And Keith Scott has opened the scoring for Wycombe. McKenna did well, and Ken McKenna will enjoy that goal. He's been the target for booing from the Wycombe fans from the moment his name was announced, but he scored the equaliser here. They're commodities this year for Runcorn, goals. They've got to Wembley in the trophy final. Hutchinson. That's a great goal! Simon Hutchinson! It is a comment on tonight's football. It hasn't been the greatest spectacle, but everybody has so much spare air. Wycombe though coming forward again, a great chance off the line. It must be there that time. Well, Langford was in there, and it's 3-1 now. Anyway, to the FA Trophy final coming up. Well, everybody's in on the act tonight. Paul Hyde with the header. And since he couldn't pick the ball up, was a sensible option. He tries to catch that one though. Oh, it came off the post. Well, when your luck's in, your luck's in. Well, they've certainly heard of High Wycombe all right. As Guppy comes forward. This is a great run by Guppy. Oh, that's superb! One of the goals of the season from Steve Guppy. Quite magnificent. He took it all of 70 yards and finished with all the nonchalance of a stroll in the park. But it's a goal that seals a 4-1 victory surely now. Now Guppy again. Surely he can't reproduce it here. Oh, he's squared it across. Now, Hutchinson. Yes! Simon Hutchinson makes it 5. And the celebrations continue for Wycombe. Well, it may not be mathematically certain, but Wycombe will have a Football League team next season. Going up is the cry all around Adams Park. That's the whistle. The fans stream onto the field to acclaim their heroes. Wycombe still need a point on Saturday, but whisper that lightly here. And there's the balcony scene. And there's the whistle. Altrincham have done what only Kettering could manage before this season and beaten Wycombe here in the league at Adams Park. But the final result here doesn't matter, because the Adams Park crowd now stand to the new Vauxhall Conference champions, Wycombe Wanderers. Wycombe's disappointment at not clinching the title in style had been softened by a night of celebration. The party flew onto Gateshead, saw heads aplenty. It was a pity, though, that only 815 people saw what was perhaps one of the goals of the season from Steve Thompson. Wycombe trying to prize an opening again. And Thompson! What a magnificent goal from Steve Thompson! Gives Wycombe the lead. Telford United shocked Wycombe by storming into a 2-goal lead at the Bucks' Head. Michael Moore scored the first goal and clearly relished the celebrations. And then it was 2, Marcus Bignut doing the damage, and Wycombe's fans were stunned. Andy Kerr, a local lad, helped end the nonsense, and Tim Langford, who used to play for Telford, relished scoring against his old club. That was 2-1. Wycombe was soon to be level. Another scramble, and this time Simon Hutchinson on hand to put the finishing touch. 2-2. And the recovery completed. Hutchinson with the shot. The goalkeeper poured it away, and a brave header from Tim Langford. He went close to achieving a hat-trick, something he'd never done at Telford, but 2 goals were enough to seal a victory. Wycombe had also reached the final of the Drinkwise Cup. They chased a deficit against Northwich Victoria before a record crowd for the competition final. And Wycombe took the lead. Watch this collector's item, a Steve Guppy header. And there was more drama still to come. That's Hemmings. Still Tony Hemmings, he's done well there! And that's 1-1! And we've got another corner. 9 minutes to go. Dangerous, it's off the post! It's in there now! And Mark West is the man who may well have won the Drinkwise Cup. It's his testimonial season. And another cup tie success too, but still a little bit of time to go. And it's there! And the old phrase comes good. It's Gordon Taylor who's got it. It ain't over till it's over. And Northwich have proved that with a vengeance in the very last minute, when they were surely tying on the ribbons to the Drinkwise Cup. And extra time underway here at Adams Park. Midway through this first period of extra time. And it's there! And Gordon Davis, I think, has got his hat-trick. And now it's the Northwich fans who get ready to celebrate. And it'll be a happy journey up the M6, because that's the whistle that means Northwich have won the Drinkwise Cup. Now the Drinkwise Cup now is brought out and glints in the lights. And the Wycombe players go up to receive their mementos, but they will not receive the Drinkwise Cup. Dave Cowell just going through there. Paul Hyde, who saved the penalty against Northwich earlier this season. Dennis Green and Jeff Cooper and Keith Scott going through. Disappointed faces these. Mark West, whose goal surely looked to have won the competition shortly before full time. Carnival atmosphere for the final game of the season against Macclesfield Town, which ironically was where it all began back in August. And there's the welcome for Wycombe Wanderers. The Macclesfield players forming an archway for the Vauxhall Conference champions. The whole of Adams Park rising to a splendid achievement. There's Keith Scott, Player of the Year, with the bubbly and the memento. And it's going to be Wycombe who'll get us underway on an afternoon they hope will turn into a celebration. Macclesfield in the change strip of all yellow. This is Scott. Trying to thread a path through. Finding Guppy. Now can Guppy work the magic? Oh, not that time, it was a little too close to the goalkeeper. Carroll. Guppy didn't quite, for my money, seem to know where that ball was landing. It ballooned up into the air. Now Carroll. Again, trying to find his way through. There's Macclesfield defence. Tries the shot. It wasn't too far away, but it was always far enough for Macclesfield to be able to relax. And half-time now comes, and Wycombe haven't been able to make the breakthrough. Food for thought at the interval. It's Wycombe 0, Macclesfield 0. As the Silkmen get us underway at the start of the second half. And it could well form a familiar pattern here. Wycombe coming forward, trying to get the first goal. Casey with the shot. And again, Wycombe denied. Macclesfield fighting against relegation on their own account. This is Roy Green. This is a good run too. Oh, he sneaked it in! And Macclesfield have the lead. And the Macclesfield jinx strikes again. Now, Carroll. Again, it was a good run. It produced a good save as well. But time running out for Wycombe to come back into this game now. And the whistle now comes. And it's Wycombe Wanderers 0, Macclesfield Town 1. And Macclesfield have had the last laugh once again at the expense of Wycombe. But it's Wycombe Wanderers who are the champions of the Vauxhall Conference. And Glyn Creaser, who had to miss so much of the second half of the season for a cruel injury sustained at work, now lifts the trophy. Paul Hyde. And these celebrations are becoming very familiar indeed for Wycombe Wanderers. That little balcony there at Adams Park has seen a few trophies lifted over the last few years. And at the moment, it really is an amazing success story. Here's Andy Kerr, one of the Wycombe captains this season. Tim Casey. And the season was interrupted so cruelly by that injury against West Brom in the FA Cup. Tim Langford will produce some important goals towards the end of the season. Dennis Green and Davy Cowell there.
And Anton Vixhouse, a member of the Wycombe Wanderers side back in the early 80s when they won what was then the Server Warm Isthmian League. Well, I wonder then whether he could ever have dreamed that he'd be part of a side winning promotion to the Football League. Steve Guppy, Simon Hutchinson and Mark West will get his hands on the trophy. Steve Thompson's there too. How many of these players will be involved at Wembley next week in a playing capacity? Brian Lee unfurls the banner that says it all, GM Vauxhall Conference champions. And that's Wycombe Wanderers this season. Now begins the lap of honour. And if it's anything like most Wycombe Wanderers lap of honours, it will take forever to complete. They do believe in milking the moment. And the music that rings around Adams Park could scarcely be more appropriate. The souvenir photographs now come in for Wycombe Wanderers, the champions of the conference in 1993. What a tremendous achievement this has been. Long unbeaten run at the start of the campaign, and now the trophy is finally displayed. A year ago, Wycombe had won 4-0 against Whitton Albion here on the final day of the season. But the delighted and emphatic victory was tinged with the sadness, knowing that on goal difference they'd finished only second to Colchester United. Well, this season, Wycombe Wanderers are emphatically first in the conference. Well, the players take a well-deserved lap of honour now. The Bucks Free Press stand now rises to Wycombe Wanderers. Well, who knows what the future will hold in the Football League in Division 3, because that's where Wycombe are going next season. A huge crowd have turned out for this historic last game in the conference. And whilst Wycombe have been beaten on the day, it's over the length of the season that the champions show their true worth. The applause once more rings out from every corner of the ground for Wycombe. Well, they're going to enjoy these moments for all they're worth. With Scott, it's been a double cause for celebration. Voted Player of the Year by the supporters. And more photographs. Glyn Creaser there, the popular Wycombe Wanderers captain. joining in with the celebrations. It was to Creaser that the honour fell of actually picking up that trophy, even though he's missed so much of the season through injury. And who would dispute that particular honour? Well, celebrations all around. It's a chance now to hear from the player of the season, Keith Scott.
Well, Keith Scott, you didn't score today, but you've won the Player of the Season award.
Yep. Funny enough, Al, I've seemed to have said this to someone before, but I've got like, all of a sudden I've got 19 people want to lift home now, and I don't know why, because I've only got a Montego car, but they keep saying, are you going to give us a lift home, Scotty, in your new car? And I said, not really. But no, I'm over the moon that I've won it, naturally, because, you know, at the end of the season, these people who've come and watched us all year round, they've sort of, you know, it's them who actually make the choice, and for them to actually vote me as Player of the Year, I'm absolutely over the moon and superb about it. Brilliant.
Well, Martin, after a few rehearsals, the big day came.
Well, I suppose it did, John, yes. We have a habit of spoiling people's parties here, I think, altering them a week or two ago and now today. But I think we all felt the night that we beat Runcorn and beat them handsomely, 5-1, was the night that we actually won the championship. And I feel, sounds crazy here, we've just collected the championship in front of a decent crowd again, and it's almost an anticlimax. However, we've got another big week to go, and I think perhaps there might have been greater celebration, greater partying, or perhaps, should I say this, maybe better effort from the players if we had not another big game coming up next week.
Well, Clint Creaser, club captain, proud moment for you as well.
Yeah, very proud to be involved. I mean, the lads have accepted me back in big fashion, really. I mean, it's very difficult when you're not playing, but, you know, the way they've kept me involved one way or the other and wanted me to sit with Martin if he lets me and stuff like that. I mean, it's important for me as much as anything else, but it obviously gives them a little bit of a lift. But yeah, I'm delighted that we've won it. As Martin said, you know, against Runcorn, I mean, it's sort of really over and done with them, but we still have to do a little bit of work after that. But then, having said that, and the lads are very, very tired. Gaffer knows that as well as anybody, and you know, it's very difficult. And at the end of the day, it's 11 against 11, and Macclesfield needed to do something today to stay up, which they've done.
But the thing is, Martin, the league title's won, as you have already said many times, over the full length of the season.
Oh, it is, John, yes. I mean, we've won by, I think, an extraordinary number of points, more than anybody else. And I think eventually in 2 or 3 seasons, when people look at the league table for this particular year, that they will have realised that we are by far the most superior side. And we have been all season. We've got ourselves involved in all the competitions. We've got to the trophy final. We've been involved in the final of the Drinkwise competition. Many people thought that, well, in all honesty, Colchester got themselves out of it early season last year. But we've tried to carry it going because we try and win all the games that we compete for. And just suddenly, it seems to people that it looks as if we've run out of steam. We haven't. We've collected 83 points this season. Our home performances just recently have been not really up to scratch. However, we won it after 37 games. And if you had said to me that we had to give teams 5 games a start in early August, I mean, I would have died. But we have won it after 37 matches, and deservedly so.
How hard was it for the players to raise themselves after the disappointment, really, of just being pipped at the post last year, Clint?
It was obviously a massive disappointment to them, as it was, you know, to me and obviously to the gaffer and everybody. But we've got a great team spirit here, which is important in any club, very important. And we've just carried it through. We carried it through the summer. We had a little bit of time together during the summer and stayed together for perhaps a week when we may not have done before. And came back to pre-season with a great attitude. Everybody was together again. And that's what's really brought us through in many ways. I mean, it's not just about the players on the park as much as it is of people off of it. You know, they give everybody a lift. Everybody's together. You know, we eat, sleep and drink together, if you like, and you stick up for each other one way or the other. I mean, we may not be the bravest side in the league, but we've certainly got probably the most ability in it, and it's proved it over the 2 years to sustain the sort of thing that we've done, and the effort that we've put in. It's been tremendous. So it wasn't that difficult because we've got a great team spirit, which is all important.
Martin, final word. There's been a lot of praise for the manager, a lot of praise for the players. I think a special word perhaps for some of those fans behind the goals.
No doubt, and I'm the very first one to admit it, and I always have done. I've never taken their support for granted, especially in these recessionary days. And how on earth that they have coughed up money to support us through thick and thin, at home and away. Our away support is quite phenomenal. The Vauxhall Conference will miss us as a side, they'll miss us as a football club, and they'll miss our supporters as much as anything else. They've been I know this sounds really sycophantic, but they have been an absolute credit to us, you know, and they've kept us going. Chris will tell you that throughout matches here when it's been really, really dodgy. Box free, press end, kept us going, and now suddenly it's reverberating all around the ground, and the support is absolutely magnificent. And I think over the last couple of seasons it has grown. It's grown in volume, and it's grown almost in every possible way. We just appreciate it. I really do.
Glyn Creaser leads Wycombe up to collect the FA Trophy. How appropriate it should be. The popular Wycombe skipper, who but for an accident would surely have been playing today. It's a famous old trophy made of antique silver. Sir Bert Millichip hands it over to Glyn Creaser, and the FA Trophy belongs to Wycombe Wanderers. And there's Kim Casey and Martin O'Neill, who's been up these steps so many times as a player, now holds the FA Trophy as a manager. Who knows what the future will bring for him? The destiny of Wycombe Wanderers is clear for the moment. The Football League next season. And celebration at an historic double. Jubilation around Wembley and in the centre of High Wycombe.
Keep those flags waving, please. And the klaxon again.
Well, the flags wave now for Wycombe Wanderers. Just as in 1991, they paraded through the town. Now in 1993, they parade once more to the Civic Centre here in High Wycombe. And this time, instead of just the FA Trophy, they've got the GM Vauxhall Conference Championship as well. It's a sea of light and dark blue there. Paul Hyde with the trophy. The hands eager to give their congratulations as the Wycombe Wanderers players make their way in for a civic reception and the acclamation from the balcony.
I don't think we have to say anything here today. But without you, and I've said this 2 years ago, but without you, we wouldn't have won anything. Well done. Brilliant.
The words from Martin O'Neill.
Now, Ivor Beeks wants to say a few words. I've usually been known that I've always got a few words to say, but I can honestly say today, ladies and gentlemen, children, you've left me absolutely speechless by this support.
The crowd outside the Civic Centre now joining with the players. Glory, glory, Wycombe Wanderers, they sing.
And I've accepted the offer of a 2-year contract to stay at Wycombe Wanderers. It's public knowledge that I was approached by Nottingham Forest, and I was flattered that they came to me. Forest is a great club, and I regard it as a big compliment that they considered me good enough to take over from a manager as successful as Brian Clough. However, I have started a job at Wycombe, which I'd love to finish. There's enormous potential here, and I'm excited at the thought of taking this club as far as we can go. I have a great affection for Forest, very much, especially the fans, but I honestly couldn't leave Wycombe at such an important and really exciting time as this. I would genuinely love to see Forest go right back to the top, and I have this silly little dream that I'd love to see us join.
The
There's food for thought in a few years' time. Wycombe against Nottingham Forest in the Premier League. I just wonder, is it such a silly little dream? The Mauler is here. For now, it's goodbye.